It's a very special night tonight. We are doing the Final Fantasy 1 challenge. And if you can't hear me, it's because I'm not live. Hopefully you're not cutting in on some weird stuff. But we are playing Final Fantasy 1 tonight, and we're going to be playing the PSP version. And the reason we're playing Final Fantasy 1 and not Castlevania, which a lot of you probably, well, I mean, you're probably thinking, if you listen to our podcast, you're wondering why we're not playing Castlevania today. And that's because we are doing the Final Fantasy 1 challenge, which is part of the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta, which was brought to our attention by our amazing patron, Lyle, who is actually joining us tonight. So, Lyle, go ahead and say hi to everybody. I know this isn't your first time, but hey.
Hey everybody, I'm Lyle. As noted, I brought up the Final Fantasy 1 Fall Challenge. It's brought to you by the same fine folks who do the 4-Job Fiesta. It's in the same vein. You're assigned 4 random classes. Don't change classes. Play Final Fantasy 1. That's the challenge. I know I've been playing through. I'm a goodly way through playing the Game Boy Advanced version, and as Chris said, he's going to be tackling the PSP version this evening.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to be taking on the PSP. I have not played the PSP version. I do own the PSP version of this game. I have played the GBA version. I do understand that these versions are easier than the original. However, the rules do say you can play any version you want. So the original and PlayStation 1, based on the party I received, are automatically out. And you'll see what I mean if you played Final Fantasy before. I know Lyle's probably going to call me a bit of a bitch, but that's okay. I can deal with that. So
I most certainly will not.
at least not yet. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time tonight, and I guess Lyle will be my Sherpa. Shane is having fun elsewhere, and thank you. If you do want to donate to Child's Play, which is the charity that the Fall Challenge is sponsoring, the link is right up there. I'm going to get with some people. Hopefully tomorrow. So next week, if you do come to our chat, well, come to the stream, and you want to donate, hopefully I can track that and have a link somewhere on the screen that can help you with that, or in the About section on Twitch. I'm just not that savvy. I'm sure Lyle could probably help me out with that as well. But I do have a friend who's an affiliate on Twitch, and he says he would help hook me up with that tomorrow. So in the meantime, the link is up there. Go ahead and type that into your browser if you feel so kind to donate to Child's Play. It's for a good cause, and we're going to play some Final Fantasy. So thank you, everybody. Let's get this kicked off. By the way, it doesn't quite fit the screen because this is a standard definition TV that we're working with here, and the PSP didn't exactly come in standard definition. I know, it's shocking. But we're going to be working with that. So I understand it's not going to look quite perfect, but I think you'll still get the general gist of it. So without further ado, let's do this. Let's play some Final Fantasy.
Chris, as your Sherpa, I have to ask, do you have a preference as to order?
What do you mean?
Because there are lots of things that are not linear about this game.
Yeah.
There is a specific walkthrough I've been using.
Uh-huh.
It's the same walkthrough I use for any Final Fantasy game they have it for, and that is from the fine folks over at Caves of Narshi. There are Caves of Narshi. Yes, from that.
Yeah.
I will send you a link on Discord, but that is the walkthrough I have been using.
I don't think we're going to get to a point where they really branch off tonight. I know it branches off once you make it past Alfheim, and you get to we have to fight Lich. That's when I know it starts to branch off. But before that, you don't really. And I think we'll be okay for tonight. Hopefully, it won't be too grindy for all of it. But we're going to watch these fantastic intros. I hope you enjoy them. They are from like 1999. They're from the FF1 Origin, so enjoy the intro movie here. Definitely not going to get them on your GBA, that's for sure.
I most certainly did not.
So you have dude fighting a dragon here. If you see the artwork from Final Fantasy 1, it's very similar to that. That's where they're getting the design for the warrior flight there. Of course, yeah, you got to go with the crystal because 4 crystals to save
Because
the
it's
girl.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, not all Final Fantasies do it. But it started here with the original Final Fantasy. By the way, Lyle, are you in Twitch? I don't know if anyone's in here. I know I was...
Yes, there's me.
Okay. I was told someone from the Region Free Gamers podcast was going to be joining us tonight. Apparently, he's a liar. But he's still cool. Maybe he's...
Or just late.
Alright. Why is my controller not working? Uh-oh, that's not good. What just happened? That's... Oh shit. I need to reconfigure my controller because apparently it didn't save last time I did it. That's awesome. Alright. I set everything earlier today, and apparently that wasn't good enough. This is embarrassing. I'm used to it though.
What controller are you using?
I'm using my Retrobit Sega Genesis 6-bit 6-button controller. So, because of course I have to be unique. Alright. Alright, I think I got it. Alright. It's weird that you have all 3 languages here, but we'll roll with it. I think that's unique. Alright. Okay. I got everything I want. So that's it safe. Okay, so I have to go with the jobs that the Gilgabat assigned me. So the first one is Monk. And we will name this one my online tag, my online handle, which is Zodiac. Because I always name myself after the monk, because monks are badass. I love monks. And then we are going with Black Mage. So you already know the classes, Lyles. Do you want to be named after any of these characters?
Okay. Wait, how
Okay.
many Black Mages do you have?
2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have 2 Black Mages.
I absolutely would love to be a Black Mage.
Okay.
In FF14, Black Mage is my main. Yeah, Black Mage is my jam. And my run doesn't even have one. The closest I get is a Red Mage who is not a stand-in for a Black Mage.
I would say, yeah, Red Mage is probably the worst class in this game. And like, it's the most...
Oh no, I mean,
class, but...
Oh, he's absolutely been super useful and better than, not having one.
Mm-hmm.
But much like almost every other at least in this era of games, the Red Mages are always going to be your jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly. The bards. Should be Kupo, K, or K-Con. I'll just go with Kupo. And this will be Gork. The immortal Dick Dragon. There. I think we're good. Yeah. I will need to know when I start buying spells what spells are available to the Red Mage once he becomes a Red Wizard. Because once
at least in the GBA version, it will specifically say that.
Okay.
When I was buying spells in the GBA version, in the right-hand side, you would select a spell, and it would say what all classes could learn it.
Okay. That I do remember. I mean, of course, in the original Final Fantasy, which is jank as shit, it doesn't tell you that stuff. It's more like, fuck you.
Just following up from today's fantastic episode, we'll say the original Final Fantasy sounded like it was, from what I have heard, the original version of this game is much more Nintendo hard than later remakes.
It's not just it was Nintendo hard. They fucked up the programming. So
okay.
The programmer was Nasir, and I don't know much about. I need to look more into it, but like they programmed the entire game. And
Yeah, I actually saw a really interesting YouTube video on that, which I will go look for, and I don't think I can put it in the chat because Twitch does not seem to like putting links in chat, but I will see what I can find.
But you got there's a lot of problems with the NES Final Fantasy, and one of which is like the thief is supposed to make it easier to run, but that was completely deprogrammed. Certain like there's no benefit to speed. There's all sorts of weird stuff that don't quite make it to the game they're supposed to. And I'm not sure if that ever translated over into the later versions. I mean, I have to assume it has, but I don't know. But like, yeah, the original NES wasn't that hard intentionally. Is that it was just super jank. So let's take a look. How much gold do I have? About 500 gil. So the first place we got to go to is, let's go to the armor shop.
It did, in fact, let me put the link in the YouTube or in the Twitch chat.
Very nice. Let's get some of the armors for my monk. Get chainmail for the Red Mage.
And the link that I posted was a video called "The History of Final Fantasy Franchise Part 1."
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting information about the first one, and it's better than Dragon Warrior, like by a lot. But man, did they fuck it up, and a lot of people don't know they fucked it up as badly as they did. So stay away from that kind of stuff. Yeah, for at least for now. Staff. Here, hammer. Okay, right here. And 2 staffs. Alright. This is the most fun part, is just equipping everybody. And it's a lot better than, originally, when they wouldn't tell you. Okay, hold on. I need to equip the monk. How much does it go up? Okay. Not everyone has staff. Did the monk start out with the staff? He did start out with the staff originally. Like, oh my god. Okay, I'm still thinking the original, where none of your people had like anything to start out with. Okay.
I think this is not nearly that aggressively hard.
Okay. And do they have magic points? They have MP instead of the D&D shit. So that's nice.
It's a little bit of a weird combination of the two, where you still have spell slots.
Yeah, per level. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. But it is not like you have X number of spells that you can use.
This is true. Yeah, I carry crystals, bitch. Just as Lucan's prophecy foretold, when darkness veils the world, 4 warriors' flight shall come. I have 2 VVs and a dude. Chest. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain these are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. Well, okay. Then what do you have to lose? Yet they stand before us with the crystals. I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence. Me can. Are those chocobos?
That is absolutely an option you do have. You're just going to choose not to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Crystal Bearers, there's a task I would ask of you. Those 2 birds, by the way, they look like chocobos.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Yeah, from the candied chocoballs. If you've ever heard of the candied chocoballs, it predates chocobos, and they're delicious. But I think that's where they got it from. Will that rescue my daughter, Sarah? Well, maybe. I don't know. Is she hot? Garland, a knight once in His Majesty's service has abducted Princess Sarah. This is where things stop to make sense if you know the full plot. And I ask for your aid in the name of His Majesty, the King of Cornelia, which also is in Star Fox. Garland has taken
Lots of
refuge.
places have a north.
Yes. Garland has taken refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north. Yes. Of course, we did not attempt to save the princess ourselves, because why would you? But Garland is the finest swordsman in the kingdom. We have none who can match him. Well, then you kind of suck. I mean, your training needs to get good. Okay, I've heard that you wish to journey to the continent to our north. Yes. The bridge leading to the north was long. See, I didn't have to deal with all this text in the original. You just went and you killed Garland, and you can continue to go. But, we're gonna move on. Okay. Let me adjust my formation. That's slow. Okay. Here we go. Is there anything in this castle I can get?
I don't think there's anything you can get
Quite yet,
yet.
right?
I think everything that worth having is behind lock and key.
Okay, got it. Yeah, this is gonna
Did
be a
you
rough
buy
one.
Did you buy magic for your mages as well?
Not yet. I just went to the town to do so. Just I remember
Okay.
how to do it. I won't be able to get a lot. I should get cure. I don't think the red mage can get. No, he can't get Dia. That kind of sucks.
I thought it just said he could.
No, he can get cure. He can't get Dia.
Yeah, Dia is
What,
pretty good.
Specific, yeah.
All the really good spells are
Reserved for the specific classes.
yeah. Yeah, when you get towards the later game, all the top tier spells are white and black only.
Oh, hold on. I'll just load up my black mages and. Right now.
Did you get somebody with thunder damage as well?
I did.
Good.
So I'm gonna grind for a little bit, probably gain a level before I head up to Garland. I like to grind a little bit.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, you know it, baby. The other thing I like about this, the upgraded versions, is that they'll automatically go to a different enemy, as opposed to saying ineffective.
Yeah, the PSP version, sorry, not the PSP version, the Game Boy Advance version also does that.
Yeah, it's a lot better, because the original Final Fantasy, of course, did not do that, and it's a pain in the ass. They didn't do that, I think, until Final Fantasy 3. So 321 Leon Podcast said worm tongue. I don't know what that means. But hi, 321 Leon Podcast. Welcome. Oh, hey, Ashton. So we have our highest order of the patron saints joining with us tonight. Thank you so much. What level am I at? Still, I haven't gained a level yet. Okay. What's my status? Okay. Next battle, I gain a level. The dude with that dude with the king.
Okay, I gotcha.
I don't know what that means. What is I don't know if I can say that.
He's comparing him to Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to be careful. Like, I want to say it, but I can't say it, if you know, because, you know, it's not appropriate. Or it would come out as inappropriate. Okay, time to heal everyone up. So the good thing about monks is that okay. The great thing about monks is that the higher level you get, the more like overpowered they get, but they don't have any defense. Like that's their weakness.
I thought that they were more powerful with without weapons.
They are later on.
Okay, is it later? All right.
Yeah. So it's good to start them out with the nunchucks, and once they gain a couple levels, like you have to monitor it because they gain like two strength every level, at least in the original. They gain true strength, so eventually they become like super powerful, especially in the GBA version. Okay, I'm level 2. I think I'm gonna go fight Garland. I think it's worth it.
For anyone interested, my party for this run is Fighter, Thief, White Mage, Red Mage.
That's like the universal traditional ass party, by the way.
I mean, except Red Mage.
Oh, I thought you said White Mage, Black Mage. I'm sorry.
No, it's white and red.
Okay. Like the super traditional is white and black. Like Fighter,
Yeah.
Thief, white, black. Which doesn't make sense because the Thief is absolutely worthless in the original.
Okay, in the GBA version, he does a lot of damage
Yeah.
by virtue of just having a ton of hits.
Okay, because his speed's probably higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then
yeah, go ahead.
my current strategy for anything that I can't just straight up murder all of in one turn is using my Red Mage to cast haste on him and be like, oh, you want more hits? Have even more hits.
We would do that party growing up at Black Belt instead of Thief. Yeah, Black Belt in the original was so much better than Thief. I would still say that Black Belt's probably overall better than Thief. Or Monk. The king will have no choice but to exchange the kingdom for his daughter's life. Cornelia will be mine. Oh no.
I do not believe that you're correct there, sir.
Yeah. Who's there?
I strenuously disagree with that assessment.
Yeah, I think it's very unwise. The king's lapdogs. Do you have any idea who you're messing with? Yeah, the first douchebag of the game. You really think you have what it takes to cross swords with me? I do. Very well. I, Garland, will knock you all down. Great, they kept it. Love it.
Honestly, I have to say, I like the GBA art better.
Really?
This is definitely much higher fidelity, and I would love the backgrounds, but I'm a sucker for, like, the 16-bit pixelated RPGs. It's kind of been my sweet spot for games.
No, I completely agree with you. I wouldn't say I do appreciate this. I do like this. I like the graphical style. Because it's not too far advanced. It's not like they fucked it up like they did with Final Fantasy 5 and 6 on Steam. But I can understand if you like the GBA version more.
Yeah, 5 and 6 on Steam, and then also the ones that they ported to... Well, because the Steam one is just the Android port. It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
At least the same assets. And it's just a little too... I think it's a little too far down the chibi look for me.
No, I got you.
At least all of the talking animations ones. The sprites are pretty much the same. But when you get to, like, conversational pieces and stuff, they're just a little bit not quite right.
Yeah. Build my fucking bridge. Yeah, she's back.
You're welcome. Give me a bridge.
God damn it, give me a bridge, yeah. I don't care about your prophecy, I just want to kill people. That's what we do, right? That's what you want me to do. You want me to kill people, and let me go do it. Why are you still talking? Let me ride some of those chocobos you have built next to you. Give me the loot. Thank you for this relatively useless item. which I'll have to use in a very weird situation later on, I'm sure. Alright. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna go rest at the end. Well, first they're gonna build a bridge, because, yeah, cinematics. A lot of clouds. So Lyle has challenged us for this game. Is that for every hour we donate $2, and then every party death we donate $2. Is that accurate? Lyle, am I still live? Hello?
Sorry, I suddenly couldn't hear you.
That's not good.
Did you hear what I was saying about how the first part of the game feels like it pulls a lot from the adventure game genre?
No. For some reason I cut out. I don't know what happened there. It was weird.
Yeah, what I was saying is it feels like the first act or so of the game has drawn a lot of inspiration from the adventure game genre, where it's you need to get the widget to go with the sprocket, to go with the crank, to turn the gear, to... There's a lot of... Get this widget to get that widget to get the other widget to do the thing that you were originally trying to do.
I honestly think that's just how I identify a lot of early JRPGs in general. I think that's where a lot of, when you look at all, every single JRPG kind of derives from Wizardry and Ultima. When you think of it, and D&D, obviously. But, there's a lot of that in all of those games before they really kind of hammered it out and figured out how to make their own kind of game. So I get it, because adventure and RPG weren't too dissimilar at the time. Obviously, like D&D or AD&D, however you want to call it, those are adventure games, and all RPGs get their elements from D&D as a whole. So that's not too surprising.
Yeah, and I wasn't saying that as a criticism. It was just an observation.
Is there anything I'm going to need later? I'll give him Thunder, and then I'll give him Protect, too. Okay. Am I still live on Twitch, by the way? I don't know if you're there or not.
I still see stuff on Twitch, so I think so.
Okay, good. Might as well save the state. Oh, we're getting 2 hits already. Okay, that's cool. This game is very generous.
Is it showing your MP total further to the right?
Yes, it's showing my not my max MP, but my current MP.
I'm sorry, current. Yeah, sorry, that's cut off by the screen. I just couldn't tell.
Yeah, I had to, it's a little bit difficult with our motif. I might remove it eventually for the purpose of this, but only for the purpose of this. Because I don't want to cut off the screen. But I'll address that next week. Alright, let's take a look at my equipment. See how much stronger he's gotten. Okay, so when we start out the game, his attack was 13, and as he goes up in levels, he gets a gain on his attack every single time with the black belt, or the monk. So right now, it's 15, but with the nunchuck, it's 19. So once he matches that, that's when you take him off the nunchucks and you put him in bare hands. And of course, the iconic scene right here. You all enjoy this while I take a piss. So if anyone comes in, Lyle, please entertain them. I really have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I would narrate, but half the words are being cut off, and I can't tell you what it says. But thus did our 4 warriors of light begin their true quest to do something with crystals. Because this is a early Final Fantasy game, therefore there are warriors of light and crystals.
Back just in time for this to be over.
You did time that well.
Probably the most iconic part of the entire Final Fantasy series. I'm not saying it's the best, but that is Final Fantasy right there. So let's go to Matoya's cave and get some shit.
I have to say it was super weird only being able to land where there were ports. Having my first experience of Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy V, and it was, is there land? Yep, I can land there. And it's like, no, I don't have the special, like, boat garage. I can't land here. My boat's too good for your land.
But I actually kind of like it. I like more restrictions in a sense. I don't know if you quite understand that, but
it collapses the possibility space, so it's not just you can go everywhere.
Exactly. I should have bought potions. I need to cast magic. Yeah, when they changed having the amount of times you can cast spells from single uses to MP, it completely changes the game. I think for the better. It does remove a lot of difficulty though, and I'll completely acknowledge that. But it does.
See, the interesting thing is, I still feel like the MP is lower than in other Final Fantasy games that I've played.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to be much more judicious with your use of spells.
Oh, absolutely.
To the point where my white mage, most of the time, is just hitting things badly with a hammer. It's not doing a good job with the hammer, but it's cheaper than constantly having to pump them full of ether.
No, absolutely. But I don't think it's if you'd ever played the original. What is this? Dash button select swisharoo. Okay. So if you play the original, like, that is just mean, because the most amount of spells you can cast per level is 8. So you can only cast, like, if you have fire, you can only cast fire 8 times, and then it's like, nah, fuck you. You're done.
That broom that was all speaking in gibberish is actually telling you how to open the map.
Yes. In the original, it's push B select. In this one, it's dash button select.
The GBA version is also B select, but I did not like that did not sink in to me, and I had to look it up.
If you had the original like NES version, it came with like a mini guide that came with it, like with maps, enemy details, how much gil and how much gold pack pieces back then, and how much experience each enemy gave you.
Oh,
and maps
wow.
for the first couple dungeons and everything. It was detailed. It was pretty amazing. And they would tell you what the brooms in Matoya's cave were saying and how to figure out what they were saying in order to bring up the map. Because Nintendo really wanted RPGs to take off. It just didn't happen until Final Fantasy VII, which wasn't on a Nintendo system, unfortunately for them. At least in North America. In Japan, like, it was gangbusters.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that at least the originals of a lot of these games either didn't come over at all or didn't come over until much later and get either bad or late translations.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'll point out is that translation and localization are very different things. Some of the games were translated and not localized.
That's true. Give an example, please.
Oh, I don't have one off the top of my head, but there are some where they say just ridiculous things. Oh, I mean, the classic example is all of your base are belong to us. That's the classic example.
Yes, that's an example of localization and not translated.
Oh, no, I would say it's the other way around. It's translated and not localized.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Because all of those words are taking words from another language and bringing them to English, but you read that sentence and you're like, yes, all of these are English words, but I have no idea what you're telling me.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, like, localization includes a translation. Whereas you can translate it, and it can never come to your shores, because Zero Wing did go to Europe. It did have a European release.
I guess specifically the point I was making is translation is just, are the words in your language?
Yes.
But localization is, okay, do the things they're saying actually make sense? And those are very different things. Like, there are fan translations of a lot of these games that are definitely in English, but...
Damn, Goopo
looks like a
ton of HP. You got a lot of MP.
And it looks like Orden has joined us as well.
Hey, Orden! I'm trying to monitor both, but apparently if I just monitor the Twitch chat, I have a tendency to drop out. That's what I've learned, which isn't good. Oh, and the potion raises 50 hit points, as opposed to just being random cure one shit. What's the VC?
What's the...
Oh, voice chat. Okay. Gotcha. Slash. Yeah, ogres up here are pretty brutal. That's kind of surprising. I mean, that happened in the NES version, but, like, not as much. I was still getting, like, gray imps and other shit. Fire. But they are worth a lot of experience and gold, so I welcome them. Until they kill me. Please don't kill me.
Even later game, they're worth a fair amount of gil per battle.
Yes. 390 gil. That's a lot of gil. Please kill me. Thank you. Oh god. What's with the encounter rate?
Those are some real mad unicorns.
Yes.
You done fucked up. You pissed off the unicorns.
They're crazy horses.
I am sorry, but the word says crazy horse, but that picture is a unicorn. Horses do not have horns.
Oh, I know that area. Yeah, that can be tough. Orden's talking about the vampire.
Yeah. I think I got a little zealous with my grinding.
Uh-huh.
Because I may be way over leveled for the area that I'm at.
Yeah. Well, because the difficulty is really unbalanced for this game. It kind of
and I was
whatever it wants.
honestly, I was grinding to get Gil because I wanted to buy equipment and spells and stuff, and couldn't afford it, and so I just kept grinding for cash.
Oh shit. Kupo-kan died. I'm just trying to make it to the next town.
The other thing I've found that's interesting, and it seems to hold true, it looks like it's holding true in the PSP version, is that whoever is in your top slot has the highest chance of being targeted.
Yes.
And it goes down from there.
Yes. That surprised you?
I just never considered it.
Oh wow.
As being anything other than random.
That's kind of a Final Fantasy trope. I know you started with 5, but I started with this game, so that's how you organized your party. So
I mean, I happen to have just done my party correctly anyway.
Yeah.
Because my knight is in that, or my warrior is in that first position, and he's armored to hell.
I don't think the party you were given was the formation. You just had to have those classes. If it is, I'll change it. I don't think that's the case, though.
I also don't think so. I think it just does 4 separate random selections. Because as you can see, you can have duplicates too.
My thief has been in the 1 slot. Well.
I'm so sorry, Orden. I'm so sorry. Do you have somebody who can actually wear decent armor then?
He has a warrior.
Oh.
I'm sorry, that sucks. Kind of. I might have him just go unequipped from now on. I think that's the best option.
He was still better with the nunchuck, but not by much.
Not by much. It's gonna, and he wasn't hitting more than one time. So that's the other part.
Is he gonna hit more without the weapon? You think?
From anecdotal personal experience, yes. I know what's better, the broadsword or the scimitar.
The scimitar is definitely better on the red mage.
Why?
I think it's faster, so he'll get more hits in. Because it's lighter.
Lower attack, though.
So you're going to deal less damage per attack, but get more attacks.
Well, I'm going to be brave. He's essentially my warrior. So I'm gonna give him the broadsword. Bye, nunchuck. Maybe that's dumb, but I'm doing it. I guess it's cool to be this far in bad formation. I just think your tactics are bad. It's okay. We all play Final Fantasy once at some point. It's a hard game. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's not a like this is not the game that you should probably play as your first RPG. It's difficult. Blindness, silence, null shock. Null shock is very important. Not now though. What's that, Lyle?
That's funny because at least with my party, I have not bought any of those reduced damage from damage types spells.
They're important later. They are very important later. Not the beginning though. No. Raises one ally's attack, not number of attacks, but overall attack. Well, my black mages need Blizzard. That's for sure. I'm gonna save my state here. And I'm gonna go fight some pirates. What level am I? My status. I'm level 6 already? Holy shit.
And that encounter rate.
So the leveling system in the NES has to be completely different. Because I remember going to Elftown, and that's Alfheim, and and when you get to level 8, that's the time you go, like, considering going to Astos. Like, I'm already level 6, so it's
maybe I didn't
pretty smoothly.
Maybe I didn't that aggressively over level then.
No.
I mean, I did, but maybe not so badly as I thought.
But the level cap in the original is either 30 or 40 too. I don't know what the level cap is in this. They may have changed it.
Higher than 30?
Probably.
Definitely higher than 30? Ask me how I know that?
I'm taking your word for it.
I know that because my characters are already over level 30.
Might go to 99 now that they've upped everything.
You know, so for anyone listening who's not familiar, I'm actually going through and playing most of the mainline Final Fantasy games because I've not done that and I very much like them. And I was friends of mine had suggested skipping the first 3 because there was basically nothing to see that you haven't already seen with, you know, starting with 4. And I was content to do that until, you know, Gilgabot had to go out and start another Fiesta thing, and it's like, hey, play Final Fantasy, give to charity, and that charity is Child's Play. And then I found out the game is only like 10 to 12 hours long. I'm like, so check a game off my bucket list. It's only like a 12-hour investment, and I can have a good excuse to give money for kids to play video games. Sign me the hell up.
Oh yeah. And by the way, that reminds me. Go to the link. I know you can't click it, but go to the link that's listed above the TV screen on here, and that's where you can find a way to donate to Child's Play. Hopefully I can get a link. I'm working with somebody who's a Twitch affiliate. I don't know Twitch that well to get a link and how to display how much has been donated. But please go there. And I've already made a deal with our patron Saint Lyle, #1 patron Saint Lyle, to make a donation of our own later on. And I'm looking forward to that. I really am. And I'll be happy to announce how much we are donating for the Retro Hangover podcast next week. And that's just a preliminary donation, in addition to the donation that Lyle has proposed to us in our Discord chat, which we will also be doing. So yes, definitely donate, and donate to Child's Play is for a good cause. It's a legit cause. There's you don't got to worry about it. Child's Play is 100% there, and this is why we're doing it. Just raising money so kids can play video games, and just, hey, it's the right thing to do. So, hey.
As of today, they've raised $260 of their $1,500 goal.
Mm-hmm. So I can say right now, if everything pans out the way we do it, how we've been talking about it right now, the current goal, we'll have a quarter. We will donate a quarter of what they've already raised today, essentially. Just from the Retro Hangover podcast. That doesn't include everyone else playing. That's just from us. That doesn't include Lyle. That doesn't include other people. That's just from us right now, and that's what we're planning on doing. And I'm not trying to humble brag. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just saying that's what we're looking at. And if you don't have the money to donate, I understand we're in a really fucked up year, and it's like, hey, look, if you need to save money, you need to save money, and I completely understand. Priorities are priorities. But if you have the opportunity to donate, please do. It's for a good cause, and as I sound like a broken record, and hey, it's I guess that's really all I got to say. But if not, enjoy the stream. I really have. Hope you have a good time with us. And I got a ship. I think that's the really important.
Yeah, you beat some pirates and got a ship.
I gotta beat some pirates and got a ship. And Psycho Demons can suck a gore. I agree. Psycho Demons, mini Cthulhu's, they are motherfuckers.
Yeah. So if anyone is interested in also joining me, this is the challenge I have posed to anyone, really. Let me find it, because I wrote it all down. All right, so this is what I personally am doing. $2 per hour it takes to complete a run, plus $2 per TPK. Plus TPK. For total party kill. If it flashes the whole, you are defeated, and that's whether I. My God, words. Whether I reload from a save or a save state is irrelevant. If I have to reload, it's another $2. So it's not a huge donation, but it was something rather than I just thought it was more fun than just say here's a flat rate. I wanted something to make me pay a little more attention to how I was playing.
So I am gonna need you to keep me honest, because I will forget loaded states. I'm not gonna lie. I will need someone to keep me honest on this. Especially Shane. Shane relies on the Shane states. Shame states. Save states.
Yeah, but this game is... Frankly, this game is easy enough that I am almost 10 hours into the game, and I've reloaded 3 times. I've had three total party deaths. In my first couple of runs of Final Fantasy V, it was a lot more than that.
Wow. I remember, I think the only reason I really like I have no problems with Final Fantasy V is I remember playing that on an emulator off a zip drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, it was too big to put on a floppy disk.
Yeah.
So I had a zip drive, and I had to bring over my family's zip drive to my neighbor's house and connect it to their computer. And it wasn't through a USB port, because we didn't have USB ports back then, obviously. It's like almost like a VGA port. Maybe you know what kind of port it was specifically.
Probably a serial port.
Yeah, it was a serial I/O port.
Mm-hmm. Probably a standard 9-pin serial port.
Yeah. And I would hook it up there because we couldn't get it on a floppy. Unless you put it on multiple floppies and you separate it by multiple installs, which was a thing back then too, which was difficult as hell, especially if you're like 12. So I just got a zip drive, put it on the zip drive, and that's how I played Final Fantasy V for the first time. And it was translated back then too. I'm talking about like 98, 99. It was wild. That's the wild, wild west of emulation back there, guys. I'm sure a lot of you remember, but yeah, that's how it was. If you weren't emulating back then, like it was crazy. Like everything was special. Every fan translation was amazing. Playing like Seiken Densetsu 3 for the first time was great. Playing Final Fantasy 4 Hard Type was a different experience. And yeah, I loved those days back then. It was crazy. Now we have everything, so it's hard to really justify it, but it's still so much fun. Fucking sharks. Get another level. Yeah, levels are coming in fast and furious. Orden says he's been spoiled by modern emulation. Please elaborate. Are you still there, Lyle? Or am I mute?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I hear you.
I just gotta be careful, you know.
I too have been spoiled by modern emulation where stuff's just easy.
Wait, I can save everywhere?
Yeah, that was yeah. You can just save wherever, like middle of dungeons, anything.
I'm weirded out right now. That's
Yeah, it was definitely weird the first time I saw that.
Whoa.
Like, but I'm in the middle of the dungeon. Why can I save? I'm not safe.
Wow. Do you know how they saved in the original game, Lyle?
I'm guessing you had to go to town.
In the end, you had to go to the end. That's where you saved. I thought it had been saving.
I mean, you have your Shane states.
Yes. But I thought I had been saving the game, like, officially. Because I went to the end. Oh, wow. Okay. Mental note made. Okay, so you're born in the 90s. Got it. Okay, that's a much different experience, obviously, than what I would have had. So yeah, when the emulators back in the day were SNES 9X, and that's the emulator of choice back in the day. And of course, I never played a game I didn't already own.
No, that would be horrible.
That would be illegal. Yeah, can't have that.
Yeah, I am currently playing this emulated on my Vita, which is a fantastic little machine to use as for an emulator.
I imagine.
It just the screen's gorgeous. If there is such a thing as a perfect handheld, I would argue that it's the Vita. I love it very much.
The Switch?
Yeah, I think the Vita is more comfortable to hold.
Okay.
Also, the Vita doesn't have Joy-Con drift.
Okay, so I got new Joy-Cons, and by the way, Orton said he's been playing FF1 as Pixel 4. I had a Pixel 2 XL. I wanted to get a new Pixel, but like they got rid of a lot of things in the 3 and 4.
I had a Pixel 3, and I loved it, and then it died just recently. And I looked at the 4, which was bad,
Yeah.
and then the 5, which was just very underwhelming, and I ended up going with a OnePlus.
I have OnePlus as well. I have the OnePlus 7, the better 7.
I have the 8, the Verizon 8, so the like weird one, because Verizon's always weird.
Yeah. When I got my 7, I got it back in May or June. The 8 wasn't out yet. With T-Mobile, I have T-Mobile. Because Google has given up. The 5 looks pretty good. I don't think the 5's quite out yet. It brought back the fingerprint thing on the back of the phone.
It did, but Google went from targeting the like flagship high-end market to a much kind of more high mid-range market.
Yeah.
Whereas the OnePlus is still trying to be a flagship caliber phone. So really, it's Google's no longer making the best phones you can get for Android.
That sucks.
Now, they might be making the best experience you can get for Android, but not the best actual hardware.
Yeah, because they're gonna get the updates first. Obviously, they make the updates. But I loved my Pixel 2 XL. I loved it. And I'll have like the OnePlus 7 Plus, whatever, 7 Pro. And I love that too. It's a really good phone. I'd rather go back to the same experience I have with my Pixel, but it's not a bad experience. I know I'm never going back to iPhone.
Does the OnePlus 7 have the in-screen fingerprint reader?
Yes.
When I got that for the first time, I'm like, this is just so cool.
Yeah.
As I said, I went from the Pixel with the on-back fingerprint reader, and that was one of the many things that began failing after 22 months.
Right.
The back started failing, and I started to have a hard time keeping the phone plugged in, which I didn't do a lot because I did wireless charging. But when I wanted to do it, I had to have these 3 cables will actually plug in, and the rest of them won't. And that is the one thing I gave up with the new OnePlus, is that it doesn't do wireless charging, but it does
charging.
It does the USB-C fast charging, and so I'm like, okay, so I have to plug it in, but I plug it in for like an hour every 3rd day.
Yeah. Hey, what's a ROG phone?
Yeah, that one I'm not familiar with either.
Open up my next beer. By the way, we don't do beer adverts like we should for Retro Hangover, like that. But this is a fantastic beer. Voodoo Ranger by New Belgium. They don't pay us anything, so whatever. It's a good beer though, and it'll get you drunk as fuck. It's like 9.9 ABV. Okay, Orden. Okay, Republic of Gamers. Okay, what are those phones? I really want to know. So the Buccaneers give you tons and tons and tons of cash.
Well, they're pirates. Of course they've got tons of cash.
Yeah. Arr.
I mean, why rob people when you can rob the robbers?
Exactly. Okay, where do I need to go? Do I have the best weapons? I think I got the best weapons.
Yeah, see, this is whereabouts I think I spent a bunch of time grinding, though I did it on land and not on the ocean because I just never occurred to me.
Yeah, the ocean's the best place to grind. All foes with darkness. Is that useful? Like level 2 is probably the least useful.
I have used what's temper again? I think temper is the one that increases your party's attacks.
No, it gives one person attack.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. By the way, Orden, is there a company that makes it, or is this like third party? Because I see you're typing it out. But like I've always had a problem with level 2 spells, even going back way in the day, because Blizzard was only the one that was really worth it for me. But you have Dark, Temper, and Slow, and maybe Slow works, but it just seems like a wasted turn.
I use slow on. I would use temper and slow on boss battles, but I've kind of leveled to the point where boss battles are the only thing I'm paying attention to anyway.
Gotcha. Yeah, the one problem with my party is it has no defense.
And frankly, not a lot of healing.
No.
This sounds like my FF5 4-job Fiesta party. God, that was so painful. The closest thing I had to a healer was a blue mage, and I didn't get White Wind until like the very end of the game.
Well, you didn't have a Beastmaster like some.
Yeah, yeah. Blue mage plus Beastmaster in FF5 is
so good.
It's like, hey, this thing has a spell that I want. Mine. Instead, I had to get the Wonder Wand, charge it to the right spot to cast Confusion, and then hope that the confused thing cast the spell on me that I wanted. It was a pain in the ass.
Oh, I'm sure. Would you recommend temper or slow? I'm going to give it to my red mage.
You're probably going to be... I would think you'd be better off with temper and then casting temper on your monk.
Yeah. So Asus is ROG. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Asus it always kind of appealed to gamers without being uber cheeky like Alienware and Dell. Shane did say he was going to help me build a computer later this year.
I want to point out you don't have very much more later this year to go.
Well, like Christmas time.
Okay.
I gotta go to the inn because I really do want a new. I need a new computer. And I think I can get a really good one for under $500, and it almost be more powerful than the next-gen consoles. I think that's very possible. How much did you spend on that rig, Orden? So Orden said he just built a new rig. Jesus Christ, I'm not spending $1,800 on a fucking computer. I want a budget PC.
I just built a new gaming PC a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I think including buying a new monitor.
Yeah, that's important because you need, I think it's like 240 hertz right now, or 120, right?
I don't know. For me, it was more of a screen real estate thing. I had a 23-inch Acer monitor from like a decade ago, and I ended up getting a 27-inch Dell monitor. So, but even including the monitor, which was moderately expensive, I think I got it in under 1,500, which that was starting from the ground up. I wasn't upgrading a computer or anything, and I was specifically kind of going a little overkill.
I just need something that, because I've been talking with Shane, I'm going to start doing some of the editing of the podcast myself, just to, you know, trying to get more content to our patrons. We can, like, kind of tag team it, and so that's important to me. But I don't need anything over 1080p. I don't need anything over just standard HD. I don't need 4K. I don't need 8K.
I mean, if you're specifically talking about for editing audio, you don't need graphics stuff. Isn't your priority there? There,
well,
you're just gonna.
I still have Steam. I still have games. I still want to play games.
Well, yes, I know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just that specifically doesn't use graphic processing much, if at all.
Right. I just know I'm going to need a big hard drive and RAM.
Yeah. I would suggest, personally, Shane may have better advice, but I would suggest getting a solid-state drive for your OS and then a larger spinning disk drive for storage. That's what I did. I think I've got a 500 gig solid-state and then a 2 terabyte spinning disk. Let me see here.
Well, I shouldn't need anything more than 256 gigs for my OS, right?
Well, when I say OS, for me it's OS and a lot of games I have on my C drive, because your games, a lot of games you're gonna want to read off the disk faster.
Especially the more advanced ones.
Yeah.
You have 3 drives running your PC. I'm jealous. I will say this, when the Wii U launched, I am a infamous Wii U defender, but when the Wii U launched, they had, 32 gigs of memory, and I'll even say it, that was far too little, but it was all SSD inside the Wii U. And here we are 8 years afterwards, and they're not even putting a full gig in the PS5 and Xbox One X because they are SSD, just because of how expensive it is.
You mean a full terabyte?
Yeah. But you're not getting the whole terabyte. And with the Wii U, you got most of the 32 gigabyte, because the OS didn't take up a lot of memory.
Yeah, that's the difference, is that modern consoles have a lot more of an operating system to store.
But the Wii U also didn't require you to install all of the games.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty significant difference. But again, yeah, 32 gigabytes is shit.
When did the Wii U release?
2012. But, like, for standard stores, that's shit, but you didn't have the copy. Go ahead.
I guess the other question is, could you upgrade that? Did it have an expansion slot?
Yeah, I have a external hard drive linked up to it right now.
Okay.
Where the hell do you take the Star Ruby? You feed it to the Titan. Or Cyclops.
Yeah, yes. Titan.
Oh, Elfheim, this is where I spend a lot of time grinding. The Titan eats the Star Ruby, and he lets you advance past the cavern in order to get to the ice cave or some shit like that. Okay, I need to find out what everyone can equip before I start spending money. Iron Nunchaku? No. Dagger? Maybe. Why would I do that? Okay, I don't need to buy any weapons, except, okay, these two. I don't think the Red Mage can equip shields, can it? No, it can't.
I think so.
At least I'm saving money. I have money to buy on spells, so that's positive. It's the church. It's the steeple. Look inside. There's the people. Okay. Another cap. No. Okay. Oh my god, my defense is going to be terrible.
Chris, did I share with you the terrible names I gave my party members?
Oh, what you got?
So for my fighter, his name is Phi Tor.
Nice.
For my thief, his name is Grabby.
He steals.
For the white mage, their name is Healy.
Makes sense. Like a slime.
And then red mage's name is Verm.
Ooh, white Verm.
As in Vermilion.
Oh. Your life.
Which is a...
Like Tears of Vermilion?
A lot of the red mage spells in FF14 are basically Ver something, and it's just the red mage variant of it.
So, Orton, I'm seeing your question about when they go up, when they change classes.
And
you have to get something for Bahamut. I think it's a rat's tail. I might be wrong.
It's the rat tail.
Yeah.
You do a trial, get a rat tail, give it to a dragon, and he's like, "Oh, this rat tail means you're very brave. You can be a better class now." And I'm like, "Really? The rat tail is what told you I was brave? Oh, okay."
I forgot where you get the rat tail, though. I gotta say, I do love the fact. I do love the MP. I love it, I love it, I love it. Because now I can cast fire like 20 times as opposed to 8. It's nice. Four hits. Yep, already the monk is starting to be my glass cannon.
That's basically the theme for your party, though, is cannons made of glass.
Yes. We're gonna go talk to the drunken elf, who is asleep and is just, like, masturbating until someone gives him the herb.
Gotta get this guy the right herb.
But where? In the NES version, you give him herb. That's what it's called. Give him the herb. So I know I gotta go to Astos. How would you know this if I didn't know this? That's the real question. Okay, Astos, place a curse on Prince. Carry away the treasures. But they don't tell you where it is. Yeah, I know I have to wake his ass up. Stop being such assholes. So I know it's like, Is it? Do I have to go to Marsh Cave? I can't remember. Marsh Cave or is Castle first? It's Marsh Cave, right?
It is Marsh Cave.
Okay. Do I have to go to the castle before I go to Marsh Cave?
No, the next step is Marsh Cave.
Okay.
That is west and then south.
Yeah. This is the point in the game where I always buy a tent. Because they would fuck me up on the way there. It'd be brutal. Bye, creeper. Oh, they call them Gygus worms. I always call them creeps because in the NES version they were creeps. All these memories from the NES version. I love it. But you have to grind because I have to get some level 3 spells. If I don't have the level 3 spells, I ain't worth shit.
Is it because you don't have the level 3 slots unlocked, or do you not have the cash to...
Oh, the thing about the PSP and the GBA is that there are no slots to unlock. You can just buy them when you get them.
Well, what I mean is you have to have access to level 3, and it's not... Yeah, you go back to your... You don't have red... At least on your red mage, you don't have level 3 open yet.
Oh, no, you're right. Black mages do. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that. In the NES and PS1 version, like, you would know if you had access to it when your magic level... When you had a slot to put magic into, like D&D.
Well, and that's kind of the same thing here, is that you only get... You're like, okay, this is your, level 4 magic. You get X number of spells, and I think it's 3 per level.
Yes. You get 3 per level. I just didn't know, like, once you got to a certain level, you would have certain magic spells. I didn't know that was like that. Like, you had to wait until you advanced so far before you could purchase that spell.
Yeah.
Either way, my black mages need to be fed. Gotta kill them before they kill me. That's the name of this game. Oh, fuck. I don't have any antidotes. Nothing. Okay, items. I do have 1 antidote. So now I have to buy antidotes. That's great.
This is the point in the game where I just did a whole bunch of grinding to trivialize all of that.
So, yeah, this goes back to my first time playing the game too. This is the grind spot. Elfheim is the grind spot. This is the, are you committed to playing this game or are you going to give up? I think this is that point for a lot of people. 25. That's good for now. Potion, I'll take 5 of those. Take 7 of those. Satisfy SCP. Is there a way to unlearn a spell? Not that I am aware of. So you have to be very careful in how you select your spells. It's kind of a bitch. They fixed that with Final Fantasy II, though. Not that that matters for you, but they did fix it. Why does my black mage have the most HP?
That's... apparently he got some really good rolls.
Wow.
I mean, it looks like Shane got the good rolls.
Yes, he did. Holy shit. And he's the only one who's died, too. Like, not only is his HP high, his MP is not slacking. God, stop it. That's crazy. Cave Golem has an ass on him. Okay. Get that 4-hit action. Slash, slash.
Yeah.
Slash, slash. Get it, get it. Wow, my monk is not gaining HP for shit. That's not good. Once again, Kupo Khan has ruled the day and gotten the best rolls. This is making me very nervous. My monk is not getting what he needs to get. At least my red mage got some good MP. But I need him to kind of be my my backup fighter, and he's not doing that. He's being a mage. That's not good. At least my monk can do a ton of damage. That's happy.
Yeah.
Should you hold on to the worm killer? I mean, if you have a better weapon, no.
I mean, it's specifically for fighting dragons, which thus far I haven't done a ton of.
Lucky bastard, you have a fighter. Wish I had a fighter. This is gonna be
They're pretty. Fighters are pretty sweet.
Oh my god, they're broken. Fighters are broken. You can make a party of 4 fighters and beat the game without any problem. That's gonna be a minute. I'm just gonna be grinding and grinding and grinding. I feel bad. I don't feel bad for watching me because you're here and I love your company. So I don't feel bad for you. I feel bad for me. Not because of you, because I have to grind so much. Alright. How is Kupo Khan doing so much damage? On top of being an OP black mage, he is the savior of the party. Did you hear that, Shane? I know you're not watching, but...
It's because he's not here. That's why.
That's why. That's why. Yeah, your party's pretty okay. Yeah, you have a fighter. That's all you need. That's the win. That's the win button.
I mean, to be fair, with my party, it's just everyone attacks most of the time.
Yeah. That's the good thing about black mages with the MP system is you don't... I don't feel like I'm limited to casting spells, or like attacking to avoid casting spells. GBA, I don't know if the MP values are different, but like if fighter's only 5 MP, yeah, hell yeah, I'm casting it. But especially if they already have 100. It's better than their knife attack. Where are my stats? The grind fest is on. Oh, Warg Wolf. I always thought it was werewolf.
They also have werewolves, but they have a green stripe on them and will poison you.
Oh, that's fun. Status effects, yeah, the status effects in this game are particularly annoying. My red mage is level 3. So let's get to level 10. Then we'll see where we're at money-wise. So my red mage might have my highest defense, but my lowest HP, and that is very, very irritating. Shit for deal. Might need to go back on the high seas. See if I can draw some buccaneers. That's where the money's at. Like ogres and creeps can give me experience points, but they can't give me money. Let's go find pirates. Eat the rich. See, the thing about the fighter ordinance is that like you put out these stats, and you're 100% right. Like the stats themselves are great. But the real thing about fighters is that the equipment they can equip, which is like actual defense, and no one else can get. So while everyone else is taking massive damage, they're like taking no damage. So
yeah, that's I've got my fighter in that first slot, and he either just doesn't take damage because of the shield, or resists most of it and is like, it's 500 HP, takes 5 damage.
Yeah. Whereas the monk does massive damage, but also takes massive damage. And that's what really concerns me about this moving forward, is this is going to be a, like, I have to kill them before they kill me kind of play. And especially without a healer.
I mean, you've got a red mage. That's almost a healer.
Yeah, almost. No, they are 100% based off AD&D classes. They weren't even based off AD&D classes. They're based off D&D classes.
We didn't even get to the advanced version for this.
Like elf, dwarf, fighter, thief, cleric, and mage. I think those, like, there was like only 6 back then, right? Something like that.
It sounds like you mixed races and classes, which, to be fair, they may also have done that.
Well, in the original D&D, elf and dwarf were classes.
As I said, they may also have done that.
Yeah. Hey, finally my monk got some HP. That's what monks are supposed to have. A lot of hit points and low defense. Welcome to reality, Final Fantasy. Just saying.
You think you're gonna snap back to reality?
Oh, there goes gravity. My red mage is still... Gorp, you are our mascot, and you are slacking. Not only do you have less hit points than the black mage Kupo, but you also have less magic points than the others. Like, you gotta figure something out. Like, you're dragging us all down.
Gorp is dragging us? Is that what you said?
Yes, Gorp is dragging us. He is dick dragging us. Ho, 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 ho. Try to do my best Leonardo DiCaprio face right there. The thing that sucks is that, like, level 3 spells cost like a grand a piece.
Yeah.
Kupo again got a ton of fucking magic points. Hell yeah! Thanks. Thank you. Or those are fantastic names for your party. It said his fighter's name was Chris, and I approve. That is the best name for a fighter. The red mage was Shane. He might have a problem with that. Black mage Lyle.
Yeah.
And the thief Orden. Maybe that's something you don't want to tell us about, but you know what? That's own personal preference right there. I do think that naming the fighter Chris was a very wise decision, and I 100% approve of that. Oh, I play Bard, so that's not too far from Rogue, right? It's like a Rogue.
Except that rogues can do things, and bards just sing about them.
Rogues do it from behind.
Yes, they definitely do.
When I was a bard, all I did was like transform my party members into various animals through polymorph, and they would get pissed off. They're like, "I don't want to do that. I want to do what my class does." I'm like, "You're not helping. Turn you into a giant like Yeti or something."
But that reminds me of the advice I always give to druids.
What's that?
Be the bear you want to see in the world.
I was always what is it? Like the half demon, half
Tieflings?
Huh?
Tieflings?
Tiefling. I was a tiefling bard.
The question is, did you embody the stereotypical horny bard?
Yes, of course I did. I don't know what that means, but I was a very horny bard.
I mean, the long-running joke is that meet anyone, bard is like, I roll to seduce.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Yes. I was chaotic chaotic neutral was my alignment. So I tried to play to that. And always try to lie my way out of situations and play music out of situations, which never worked because my dice hate me. You hate tieflings. That's fine. I think a lot of people hate tieflings. I love tieflings. Yeah, they hate you too, Orden.
I've played two really cool tieflings. The first one was my first D&D game ever. Was a tiefling warlock, which is, you know, about as stereotypical as you can be.
Yeah.
And then in the most recent D&D game I played, not the most recent, one of the longer ones I've played in, I started out as a tiefling druid. And this game got real weird real fast, where all of our characters became deities pretty quickly. So I was a tiefling druid god of death, but it was very much like death as balance and repose, like putting restless spirits to rest rather than death like scary, creepy. Yeah. This was very much, you know, death as the inevitable part of the life cycle, death. And then things happened, and I became a warlock. The weirdest part was I was a warlock who was his own patron. Because you know, when you're a minor deity, you can do things like that.
It just reminds me I need to get back into D&D. I need to find a good DM. I don't want to do it virtually, and so that means it's going to be a while before I can do it. But
virtual games are the only reason I can play D&D, because because it's 2020, but even before that, the group I was playing with is spread across the country. So
how much does it cost to fly to you? Right now, probably not much because, you know.
Honestly, right now, Disney would probably pay you to fly to Florida.
That's, yeah. In the East, it shouldn't cost anything if you're on the East Coast to fly to Florida, especially Jacksonville. Like, no.
You guys have an airport?
Yeah, we do.
I didn't think that many people wanted to come to Jacksonville.
We have a quote international unquote airport.
Does that mean it flies to Mexico?
Yes. It links with other airports that actually fly overseas. That's what it means. It's not a bad airport. I've been to much worse. I've been to much tinier as part of my job. There are places I have been surprised. I'm like, really? Harlingen, Texas has an airport? Well, they do. And they're like, okay.
To be fair, technically, my little podunk town has an airport.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's, you know, a private airport for people who own their own planes, not...
Right. But I do like the smaller airports. Not like the too small airports, but just the smaller airports. Because there's kind of more personality to them. Like, Reagan Airport is a complete clusterfuck. I hate Reagan.
Is it worse?
DC. Huh?
Is it worse? Is it worse than, I guess, the two that I have had very bad experience with flying through are Philly and Newark. I hate flying through Newark. It just always sucks.
Yeah, I've noticed like the real big ones like really blow. But like Midway in Chicago, I like Midway in Chicago. I don't care much for O'Hare, but Midway's fine. Norfolk kind of sucks, but they're not bad. Charlotte's fantastic. I love Charlotte. Charlotte's a really good airport. I spent a lot of time in Charlotte just because that's kind of the connecting hub for American Airlines, and a lot of the flights I've had to do with all over the southeast region go through Charlotte. So I've spent quite a bit of time there. I'm almost surprised I haven't spent any time in Atlanta. I wish I could give more opinion on Atlanta. You'd think I would, but I don't. I can't. Dallas Fort Worth is kind of is that place is a fucking clusterfuck. I wouldn't recommend going through Dallas Fort Worth. Not a fan. Ah yes, Fyra and Thundera. There we are. Now we're playing with. Now we're cooking. Forgot I had that. Now we can cook. Now we can cook with fire. Here we go. I can't hear anybody anymore. Am I down?
No, you're fine.
Okay. But I miss traveling. I really do. And that's... I mean, it's current year, so I guess I just gotta embrace it. But it still sucks. A surprising one was the airport in Alabama. That wasn't too bad. I thought it would be terrible because it's Alabama, but it was okay. How much are tents? So this is one of my biggest concerns about games like this is I don't want to grind for experience, per se. I want to grind for gil. Like, I need money. Can't even buy a tent? Can't buy a tent. Buy two. I'll buy 2 pence. There is a discard option in the magic menu. Oh wow, that never that okay. That's good. That's good. Just
Really
maybe.
good.
Save. It's very easy to make mistakes in this game, so that's the fact that they have that is a good thing. Should I go to Marsh Cave? No, I need to like buy tons of potions before I go to Marsh Cave.
Probably a good plan.
Yeah. Should probably go back on the water. That's where my money's gonna be. Okay, let's go back on the water. Let's hope we find some buccaneers, and let's bang them to death.
That's definitely one strategy.
Yeah. Oh man. This is the boring part. We just gotta grind and grind and grind until you're comfortable. It's not even about like getting a certain level or not. It's just where you look at it like, okay, now I'm comfortable to go out, maybe do something.
Yeah, and I think this is the part of the game that I did a bunch of that too.
Yeah. I think that's the case for a lot of people. This is like I said, like this is kind of that stopgap point in the game for me. Sleep Raw better for Black Mage Confused? I can't tell you. I always go with Sleep because of the battle in Provoca with the pirates, and it works really well. What I've noticed in this game is that status effect spells don't work really well. But I do think one of the elemental bosses, is vulnerable to sleep. I think it's the fire boss. I can't remember her name. It's like Chiral, or it's weird. So Orden asks, is Sleep Raw better or Confused for the Black Mage? And I think there's a boss that's vulnerable to sleep. I think it's the fire one and the volcano, but I can't, don't quote me on it. I'm just like going off the top of my head. Haha!
Yes, it's at least in the translation I'm working off of, it's Merilith, and she is weak to stun, sleep, darkness.
That's why you want Sleep, so you can defeat her pretty easily. As well as Paralyze and Darkness. That's what you want it for. Otherwise, they're all pretty useless. What's WOTC?
Wizards of the Coast.
So why is the RNG... Okay. I wanted to fight monsters in the ocean. Why is the RNG in the ocean so low? But yet on land, I fight things all the fucking time.
Because the ocean's staggeringly huge.
Not buying it.
Because you have not done appropriate homage to RNGesus.
I'll buy that. Hey. Gain a level. That was the shittiest level game for everybody. That was a terrible level game for him. What was that? See, you're right. I have not been praising RNGs because my level gains have been absolute trash. I forgot. Why have I been spending 100 gil in Elfheim when I have a ship and I can just run to Cornelia and spend 30 gil? Gotta get that money. Need another, like, 4,000 gil. Then I can go to Marsh Cave, where they poison the fuck out of you.
Yeah, so you're gonna want, like, all of the antidotes.
Yes. Hey, hi, Sahags. Grinding for gil. That's the worst kind of grinding. I'm not grinding to get stronger. I'm grinding so I can afford shit. It's like reality.
Yeah.
Pow. Way to go, Kupo. You have the most impressive level gain. Again. Because of course you do. I don't know, I did that. That was worthless. Great. Exactly. More money means better chance of survival. Without comment. I like this beer. It's good beer. By the way, election is on Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so have I. My vote, I mailed in my vote on October 4th.
Yeah, we also voted early.
Hopefully nothing's going to happen that night. I don't think... I'll be honest, I'm not too concerned. I think people are making a bigger deal about it unless you live in a downtown area. I don't really think there's really much to seriously worry about. And if you do, just be safe. I don't know what to say. I don't live in a downtown area. I think the area I live in is pretty safe. And I get what you're saying. I have no idea. I absolutely have no idea. I have no idea how anyone's going to react regardless of the result. Yeah, no matter the result, I have no idea. It's a fucked up year, and yeah, it sucks. Oh, I live in a deeply red neighborhood too. I really do. So does Shane. Shane lives probably in a deeper red area than I do, and that's really, I mean, that's almost a statistical impossibility, but he does, and that's kind of where we live. We live in the area. Yeah, that is good. That is good. I do like the fact that you found this in 2020. There's always a silver lining to everything. But me and Shane live in the county with the sheriff that wanted to deputize everybody if people started protesting. Every gun owner. I'm sorry, not everybody. Everyone who owned a gun, which where we live is everybody. So that's where we live. I'm not saying that's good or bad for everybody out there. You make your own decision, but it's kind of concerning to me. If you want to deputize every gun owner. Yeah. Just look up,
I think I saw a movie where that happened.
Yeah. It's called The Purge.
Oh, I was thinking Tombstone.
Oh. Look up, just type in Sheriff Daniels, and you'll get everything you want.
I am fairly certain I will not get everything I want.
Not want. Want's the wrong word. I'm sorry. But everything you need to know about where me and Shane live.
I live in a very strangely purple area.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I'd rather live in a purple area, to be honest with you. I'm rather purple myself. But, the deepness of the redness is extremely concerning. I don't like extremes of either side, but yeah, it's pretty deep red here. Yeah. Let the people sort it out. Yeah, that has never failed. I'm sorry. Anyone watching this, I don't like doing. I know that a lot of people don't like when video game shit gets too political, but I mean, it's the nature of the season. I'm trying to be really vague. I'm not trying to give any opinion of my own towards any of you. So I just want you all to know. And I was gonna put this out at the end of the video, anyways. Just go out and vote, and I don't care how you feel about things. I just want everyone to realize that the most important thing you can do is get involved with local politics and know what your local politicians think. And vote in the right people there. And that's going to have the most impact on your life. And being more aware of what's happening locally will determine what's really affecting your day-to-day life. And I can understand if you feel any way about either politician. They're not exactly... I mean, either candidate at the top of the ballot, they're not the most perfect or the best candidates we've ever had by far, and that is for certain. I know many of you may say, well, that's putting it lightly. And but you gotta vote. Like, you gotta go out there and you gotta vote. And November 3rd is the day, and today is November 1st, and something has to be said. I'm not going to pretend that those things aren't happening. And I know that's a lot on your minds, but ultimately, if we all keep a level head and we all just want to work towards getting better, and we have friends that want to work towards getting better, I think that's the best way. Just make sure that we can have a conversation. If we can't have a conversation, things are lost. And I don't think anyone wants to lose that. And that's you know, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose the conversation. But I think we're dangerously close to not having a conversation anymore, and that worries me. And I'm sorry if that's too far. I don't think it is, but you know, just go out there, make your voice heard, say what you want, and then if you don't get your way, you know, work towards making that your way. No, it's fine, Orden. It's fine. I do too. I mean, I'm a political science major. I've been studying politics. I've been in college. I got my degree, you know, since starting college again in 2018. So, over the duration of this podcast, I've been studying politics.
What a time to be studying politics, huh?
I mean, is it not the perfect time? I think it is, actually.
I mean, to the point that Orden was making, you're kind of alluding to.
Yeah.
Maybe it isn't the perfect time because there's no nuance. It's
no nuance
there. There's no nuance. There's no conversation. It's very polarized. Like, nobody just wants to talk and try and find a compromise. It's just shout and overpower.
Yes, absolutely. And I was doing online courses. You know, that's just the nature of the Navy. I got a degree from Maryland. I'm obviously not in Maryland, but
this year.
Well, I've never been in Maryland, but I mean, especially this year, you have to do online. But I would say some things that were like pro one way, and the counter argument would just be insanely ridiculous. And you would see it from both sides of the argument and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is insanity. But it would be accepted either way. And it was just, it's very concerning. And you're right, like, the nuance is gone. And I just hope that we can recover. And I definitely see a path to recovery maybe one way over another. But that doesn't mean that way is necessarily better. It's really weird. And I really don't know. I don't know what the right answer is right now. I just hope we get there. That's all the only thing I say. I hope we get there. I hope everything's okay. I hope we recover from this. I hope we recover from this pandemic first and foremost. I hope that people stay healthy. I hope people stop dying. I hope that we find a way out of this, and that's just not for the United States. It's like Europe is getting hit really hard too, and we don't know. Are lockdowns the answer? Are opening up the economy the answer? Obviously, like just full opening it up isn't working. But nothing's. Who knows what the fuck is working? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting on a soapbox as I grind here, but. I know I'm a centrist, and Lyle, I know you're not a centrist. I'm not going to get into your... I don't know your politics exactly, but I know you're not. But I'm very much a centrist. That makes me the bane of existence, is what I'm finding out.
You are correct that I am not a centrist.
Yeah. I'm finding out everyone hates centrists.
Mixed opinion. I have. It's a lot of people are centrist simply because they are not interested in taking a stand one way or another.
That's not me.
No, and that's the counterpoint I was going to make is those centrists. Yeah, I don't like them because they're just deciding not to decide.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's absolutely not what I'm getting from you. You're not a centrist in that, well, I'm just going to sit here and try and appease everybody. That's not the vibe I'm getting from you. And that's the thing I don't care for.
Right.
But people who are centrist because they see both perspectives bringing some things of value, that's a different kind of centrist.
Yes. I completely agree.
And those are people I can respectfully disagree with rather than just straight up dislike.
As Rush said, those who decide to not make a choice have still made a choice. That's not the exact lyrics, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And Orden, yeah, you hate people who don't want to listen to the other side. I 100% agree. Like, you may not agree with the other side, but at least you have to be empathetic to their point, because we still have largely a 50-50 split on where this country is, in terms of how they want to move forward with things. I wouldn't say, well, not largely 50-50. I think it's more 60-40. But you still have to be empathetic towards the minority, or else shit's gonna go bad. As we play Final Fantasy. I have to bring myself back. Like, we are playing Final Fantasy. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's where we are right now. And, yeah. No, Lyle, I 100% agree with you. You can be a centrist and hold a position. And that's the only thing. If someone asks you... oh, I'm poisoned. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Like, if someone asks you your position on thing, don't try to waffle. Just say, like, hey, here's my position on it. This is what one side said. This is what the other side says. And this is the side I find more convincing. Like, and explain your point. At least know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't be a centrist and be like, yeah, like, both sides are wrong. Okay, well, explain yourself why you're wrong. Say why you think they're wrong, and have your own solution. And if you don't have that perspective, then maybe just shut the fuck up. And then learn, and then have an opinion. I'm not saying, like, just completely stay silent, because everyone needs to be more educated about things, so... I don't want to just say, everyone shut the fuck up. I mean, that's not the right
and I think that people tend to be reticent to admit that they don't know something.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. I am faced almost every day with something that I don't know. I am very much used to being in a position where I don't know things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's kind of the nature of my work. I'm a systems administrator. Not knowing things and trying to find them out is my job.
Yeah. But that's also very rewarding, is when you discover something you didn't know. It provides... I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but, like, it doesn't provide you with just your own self-fulfillment, but you can provide fulfillment for others by finding out something you didn't know. And being able to apply that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it important. And sometimes you're going to find out some stuff you don't necessarily agree with, and it's hard. It's always a tough pill to swallow. But hey, look, like, sometimes that's the pill you need to take. So either embrace it and accept it, or just stay in your little boxed in chamber. And it is what it is. And I hate to say it, but... In any case, we're getting a little too deep down this rabbit hole, and it is 11 o'clock. And I thank everybody who stayed through the little diatribe we had here. Let me go save the game here as we wrap this up. I've just been grinding pretty much for the past, like, 45 minutes. My data has been saved. Let me save the state just in case. And let me stop the emulation. I like this little background screen. So once again, thank you for joining us. Lyle, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast tonight. This is the guy I have to put that out.
Me too.
It's been an absolute joy. Orden, thank you for being in the chat tonight.
And this nonsense was my idea. The least I can do is come hang out while you do it.
And hey, be here next week, because apparently Shane can't be here next week either. So you are more than welcome to be. You are more than invited to join us next week as well. Even if Shane's here, let's have like a 3-way conversation. I'm all about it. We'll have some fun. And again, we are a podcast. If you're watching this, we are a podcast. We're the Retro Hangover Podcast. You can find us in pretty much any streaming service that you use. Just look us up. Social media, just type in Retro Hangover. You're gonna find us. We do have an affiliate link with Bones Coffee. I don't have the coffee with me. Lyle fucking hates the coffee, and that's it. He doesn't like it, but he did try it, and I give him all the kudos for that. So thank you, Lyle, for trying the coffee. And that is Bones Coffee. I like the coffee. Shane likes the coffee. Lyle doesn't like it. You may or may not like it, but give it a shot. Get out there and give it a shot. They have a lot of deals, and you can find that coffee at bit.ly/RHPbones. And hey, you might like it. That's not the most ringing endorsement, but hey, either way, you get boned. Enjoy getting boned.
I did not say I hated it. I just said it wasn't fantastic, but I absolutely enjoyed trying it anyway.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, it's coffee, right? Yeah.
I mean, as I said, the only thing worse than bad coffee is no coffee at all.
Exactly. Other than that, check out our merch store. We have a lot of good merch. I think Orden got this fantastic, just amazing looking mug. I got to order it myself. I didn't know it was going to be that great when he ordered the coffee mug from bit.ly/RHP merch. He just said in the chat right now he loves the mug. And that looks like a great mug. I got to get one myself. I do. I love it. I got a shirt right now. That's great. It's like a bit.ly/RHP merch. And yeah, that's great. So this week's episode is about Castlevania, but we're doing it for charity. I hope you tuned into this. hey, look, if you weren't able to join us for the stream, if you weren't able to donate to charity and you want to donate to charity, the link is up there right above the TV. You can go there and they can tell you where you need to donate for this in order to count for their goal of what was the goal again, Lyle? Like 1,500?
I believe it was $1,500, and I have a feeling the community is going to blow that out of the water.
Yeah, 1,500 is a really low bar. And I already said like from what we're projecting right now from this podcast, we're already going to go like a quarter of what's raised currently, and this is going to December. So we are going, yeah, it's going to make that, but we would love your help to get that towards Child's Play, and get that goal reached sooner than later, and that'd be fantastic. But in the meantime, again, look, I cannot stress this. This is the final anything before the election on November 3rd. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what you think about any candidate. I don't care what you think about anything. Just go out there, get to a ballot and vote, because that's the most fundamental right we have. That's the most basic voice every single one of us as terms of citizens can do. And I know I'm kind of passionate about this again. I'm a poli-sci major. I'm supposed to be passionate about this shit. And maybe you don't even want to fucking hear it. But you need to go out there and you need to vote. Make your voice heard. You might be one vote, but grains of sand in a heap, y'all. Just go out there and make the one process that we are able to have and be part of it. Because if you're not part of it, it's kind of hard to bitch about the results. I'm not saying you can't bitch about it. That's also your right. But it's harder to bitch when you refuse to do so. So go out there, vote, do what you got to do, or, enjoy the ride that you're given. And that's all I really got to say. So, Lyle, thank you so much for being here. Where can we find you on the internet? Do you have anything you want to put out to anyone watching this video?
Well, thank you. You can find me largely on the only place I'm really active is on Twitter, and active is still a stretch there. You can come find me in the Retro Hangover Discord. I'm on Twitter. I'm at X1101. I'm also one of the co-hosts of a ridiculous and amusing podcast. If you like the kind of rants that Chris and I got up to this evening, come check us out over at urandom-podcast.info. It's three good buddies going to the pub and chatting once a month, except the pub is my computer.
Nice.
Topics range from Final Fantasy, politics, home repair, car repair, smartphones, copyright law, DMC takedown notices, and that's just this month's.
I gotta check it out. I saw you just posted it. It just came out today, right?
Yeah.
So it's
released on the first of the month, every month.
Nice. So I gotta check out this month's one, and you should too. Check out Random podcast. It's in most streaming services, I believe. So go out there and check it out. Thanks again, Lyle. Thank you for Orden for joining us as well in the chat. I think I already said that. It would be repetitive. And until next time, hey, Lyle, you take this out. You do the joystick one. So until next time,
play with your possibly higher fidelity joysticks.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.